We've got Ben Harris, the Assistant Secretary of the SDA, which is the union representing retail workers. First of all, what do you make of Aaron Morey's comments, Ben?
Well, first of all, thank you very much for having me on this morning. Look, it's really sad. The CCI has run this campaign for many years. They keep asserting that there will be all these great benefits for workers, but they show little evidence that actually has effect. So, like, if we look at the last round of deregulation in 2012, between 2011 and 2015, the number of people employed in the retail sector actually fell. And whenever they show their graphs about retail turnover, you'll see that it actually flatlined just after the deregulation onto Sunday. So what happens is family budgets don't change. People shift their spending around. It doesn't change. It doesn't put more money in the family budget, and essentially it just shifts it along. And the employees are asked to do more with less because as the sales move, so do the hours, and you find stores become less staffed than they would be if there was more intense shopping done in a shorter period.
What does extending Sunday hours mean for retail workers?
Well, it means that's 3 hours less on a Sunday morning. They get to be with their friends and family and to be part of the community. With every shift, it takes people away from those shared community activities. Obviously, for a long period of time, we didn't have Sundays, and that was a day of communal rest that our members had with the rest of society.
But I mean, there could also be an argument that, no one's going to be forced to work on a Sunday morning and there would be opportunity there for more jobs, surely.
Well, first of all, there's no protections against being required to work on a Sunday. The Fair Work Act, where most of the employers work in the federal system, and the award provides no protection for people who want to refuse to work on a Sunday. So that's the first point. The employer has a lot of mandate here to shift people's hours around. And what we see is that people they'll just be started earlier than they otherwise would on a Sunday, and you'll find that there'll be less staff on during the middle of the day.
One of our talkback callers, as well as Aaron Morey, cited that this might be driving people to online shopping rather than bricks and mortar retail experience, which surely would be better for your members if that was to happen. So is that part of the problem? Is that why maybe when you do see changes in regulation that retail figures don't necessarily go up because people might be driven to their computer screens to do their ordering?
No, those figures include online purchasing as well. And obviously during the height of COVID, when people were concerned about going to major shopping centres, people looked for other alternatives, which is entirely appropriate. And a lot of people actually went back to their independent retailers, which has been a real boon for the independent retail sector, particularly independent grocery, because people have gone back to their local independent. I won't name names. But that's actually been really good, and it tends to be that small business actually employs more people per sale than the majors do. The majors run a very lean operation. They're starting to use things like AI to work out when they're going to roster people to the minute around sales, and all that the CCI and unfortunately Liza Harvey's obviously changed her position. I think she had the policy settings right 6 months ago. It's a shame that she's changed her position, but we know that this won't have a good impact on consumers because they'll be left with less choice or less service, or eventually, in the long term, higher prices.
We'll leave it there. Thank you very much for your time this morning. Ben Harris there from the union that represents retail workers, and Anne says half of the shops in her local shopping centre don't even open on a Sunday. So she fails to see how extended shopping hours will be of any help. We'll try and take more of your calls when we come back after 8:30.